Hello, and welcome to another episode of Creating Cultures That Outperform. I'm Frank Wander. I'm the CEO and founder of People Productive, and I happen to be here today with my amazing co-host, Terry Mays. At our end of our last episode, we mentioned that we'd be doing 2 episodes on authenticity, and so today we're doing the power of authenticity, being your authentic self. You know, we're in a world where there are so many fake things running around. It's a common conversation now. Deep fakes, people trying to be someone they're not so they can gain followers. I think authenticity really matters, and it's not a very, very simple thing, but in fact, it's very valuable. So if I told you we were doing a rebroadcast of the Super Bowl and invited you to fly in to come see it with me, it's unlikely you would actually come. But if I had 2 tickets to the Super Bowl and invited you to go, you would probably go with me because one is authentic and one isn't. So we put a huge value on things that are authentic in life. And to really thrive as an individual, you have to learn to be your authentic self. And we're going to talk a bit about that today. And so, Ter, I'll hand off to you rather than rambling on here.
Yeah, so being authentic is all about being your true self. There requires a whole lot of self-awareness in order to be authentic because you really have to be comfortable being in your own skin. You have to be aware of who you are and who you're not. And that all brings authenticity to light. So when you can be genuinely who you are, you can be honest, you can be open. You're not trying to imitate somebody else. You're not trying to, be somebody that you're not. Especially in the age of social media, where you can literally go out to Instagram, create a profile, and with the right filters, you can become a different person. You can create and curate the life that you want to have versus the one that you actually have. And it's kind of sad for, people that are more relational people. It's kind of a sad thing that we see where people are becoming fakes.
Yeah.
And it's becoming easier and easier to be fake, especially with AI. And now, AI generating pictures and images, video. It's just
Everything.
kind of a little bit scary how you can connect and not really be able to tell the difference. But, that authenticity that you bring to the situation or to the organization or just to your everyday life is so important because there is so much counterfeit, phony, fake, just all out, not the truth out there.
Yeah.
So being able to be real, being able to be authentic, these are qualities that you want to have as an individual. And then later, in the next episode, we're going to talk about it from a leadership perspective, but it's going to be almost impossible to be authentic as a leader if you cannot be authentic as an individual.
I think that's just so true. And people value authenticity for a number of reasons. One is they feel very comfortable around authentic people. They grow to trust them. They know that the people really believe in what they say. They act with integrity. They're sincere. And these things really, really matter. People seek out, friends who are authentic because they actually know them. And I think people who are authentic are very self-aware. They have this kind of deep self-awareness. Now, authenticity doesn't mean you're the same person your whole life. You could keep the same beliefs, but you're going to mature and grow. And over time, who you are is going to change. And it's okay to be authentically changing during the course of your lifetime as you begin to learn things and you become more self-aware. I think that's the natural course of events. It'd be very phony that you're exactly the same your whole life, that you haven't changed at all.
Right.
And so you're going to remain authentic by understanding that you're going to grow as an individual and you're going to change. Your beliefs may change and you're happy to own those changes and let people know that, well, I've changed my beliefs. I think this is more important. I've come to learn, whatever it may be. And so you can be authentic and you can change as an individual. And I think that's important.
Yeah. And the more you grow and the more you learn, over time, you want to continue to evolve into a better version of yourself. You don't want to just stay stuck in time with the same old way of thinking and same old way of doing things. It's always so interesting to me when you see hairstyles. People, I like to change my hairstyle up a lot. I'm pretty creative in that regard.
Pass out, you'll see.
Yes. So just take
Yeah.
a scroll through YouTube and you can see the many hairstylings of Terry.
Yeah.
But I like to change it up. I really do. I don't like having the same old thing all the time. But it's very telling when you see a person who has a hairstyle from the 70s or the 80s and it's 2024.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing that you don't want to do. You don't want to get stuck in a time, in a moment where you're just continuing to relive that same way of life and do things the same way that you always have. You want to grow, as especially as a leader, but then as an individual, you want to grow. You want to constantly improve. You want to stay in that place where you're becoming more and more authentic every day, because that authenticity is a vibe. Make no mistake about it. People can tell when you're being honest, when you're being open, when you're hiding something from them. They may not know what it is that you're hiding, but your body language, your words will tell on you every time. So make sure that you're being honest with people, that you're being open, sincere. You absolutely cannot fake sincerity. People can tell when you don't really mean it. So make sure that you're taking the time to grow in those areas and become more confident and comfortable in your own skin so that you can be authentic. There are times when everybody won't like you, everybody won't see it the way that you see it, and that's okay. But I'm learning and growing as I get older. I feel like I'm this old wise sage, but I'm learning that it's just okay. It's okay if everybody doesn't like me. It's okay. As long as I'm comfortable with who I am and I know that I'm trying to do the best and bring out the best in others, I'm trying to always build up and not tear down. If I can be comfortable with who I am, then everybody else, that's just a bonus if they agree. But if they don't, it's okay. And I'm not going to lose sleep over it.
Yeah. Look, it's so important. I mean, people do want to get to know and hang out with authentic people. I think there's just no question about that.
Yeah.
So, part of authenticity is passion. I think when people really love and care about something, they become very passionate about it. But we know there are deceptive people who can behave passionately about something even when they don't believe in it. So that alone, in and of itself, isn't a marker of somebody who's being authentic. It's that sincerity that they exude over time, that vibe they give off, like Terry says, that you really get to know them and you say, wow, they actually really believe this. Authentic people are also vulnerable. You can't be one of these invulnerable people and be authentic. You've got to own your weaknesses when you're authentic, and explain to people that, hey, I'm really not good at this. I could use some help on that. And so you don't want to do the fake it till you make it. You want to be authentic about who you are, be vulnerable when you need to be vulnerable, be sincere at all times, act with integrity, let people know what you truly believe and are passionate about. And that authentic self will shine through. And more people are going to want to get to know you. More people are going to want to hang out with you. The reality is you're going to attract better friends and more friends, would be my opinion, over time. And you'll be a better coworker, because this is about cultures that outperform. You'll be a much more effective coworker for people.
Yeah. And it'll be something real. In this world, again, it's so easy to be a fake. It's so easy to fake something. But when you have something that's real, that people can feel it from you, they know that you're sincere, they know that you're being completely open and honest with them. It's huge. It really does make such a difference in the performance of others.
And so, because they're comfortable with who they are and they're self-aware, they're very comfortable expressing their emotions. They don't have to try to, change emotionally who they are. They're very open to learning from mistakes because they're vulnerable. They're very willing to change your opinion if they're confronted with evidence that says, wow, I had a misperception about that. I really appreciate you sharing that. I've, changing my opinion. They don't make fun of other people and at other people's expense because they really, they're sincere and vulnerable and care about others generally. They're passionate about the things they care about. And so, you can read up on authenticity. There's some great Harvard Business Review articles on, authenticity. I think there's just tons of information out there, but you should strive for authenticity in an era of fakes. And that's really what my message would be. In this era of fakes, where there are more and more fakes, more and more people trying to, overdo what they're doing, make it look like it's more important than what it really is, make it look like they're having more fun than they really are. These constant selfies with these, overly emotive, smiles and things going on. It's just really not true. And
Yeah.
so be comfortable not having a great time every moment when you're on vacation. Maybe you could just have a picture of hanging out, having a normal evening out with some friends where everything's not over the top. Say, hey, hang with my buds, You
Yeah.
don't have to be over the top. And I see that from people who may be hurting a little on the inside. They always want to put out this bigger vibe. And I think that just further damages the situation for them, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Because you can tell it's fake. You can tell that they're just performing for the camera.
Yeah.
Trying to make everything so perfect.
Yeah, it's a performance. One of these words that's catching on is performative. I just have heard it any number of times, which I never used to hear it, right? It's, doing it out of performance, acting out for others. And I think a lot of people are caught up in that. I think the internet, the ability to do social media has increased all of that stuff and made things less authentic and less real. So our advice is become your authentic self. If you can become your authentic self, you're going to just do better. You're going to be happier. You're going to become more self-aware, and you'll actually be pursuing your passion because you know what it is. And so, listen, we're here every Wednesday at 3:00. I know one of the episodes we got off late, was like a day late, but 99.9% of the time, every Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern, there's another episode of Creating Cultures That Outperform. A lot of great topics. We did a series of 19 episodes on how to increase workforce productivity. What an incredibly powerful series. You should go back and look at that. You can go to the People Productive channel, subscribe. You'll get it. You can subscribe to us on LinkedIn, the People Productive page, and you'll get notified about all of these shows. So our next episode is being an authentic leader, and we'll be broadcasting that next week at 3:00. So hope you could join us for that. And really, thank you for coming.
Yes. Bye for now.